How about a quick rundown of your military background?
Military background. Okay. Joined the Marine Corps in 2001, a couple months after 9/11. Matter of fact, it was November 18th, 2001. I went into boot camp in the summer of 2002. Did 4 years in the Marine Corps, two deployments with them, both to Iraq. Got out for a minute, hung around, and I joined the Army, did 5 years with them. And one deployment, one 15-month deployment with the Army to Iraq again. That bullshit, right? So,
3 tours to Iraq.
tours to Iraq.
So you did pretty much a total of 9 years military.
Yeah, about 9 years, exactly that.
Okay.
A total of 30 months in Iraq.
When it comes to, let me ask you this: did you have any firefights your first deployment?
A couple, yeah, that I could think of off the top of my head. We had some going right into Iraq when we left from Kuwait. Small engagements here and there, and then all the way up into Baghdad. Second deployment had a few, yeah, that I could think of off the top of my head. Yeah, and then we did the whole Fallujah thing, so that's never fun. And then the JOF. The third one had a couple in the Army too. The last one I think is the one that sticks in my head the most, but I can tell you from my own personal experience, I don't glorify death. I don't promote it. It does affect different people differently. And I think I've already told you this before, and I'll say it again. You got some of those cats that go out there and they're all gung-ho, and they're like, oh, I'm going to kill me 17 motherfuckers. And then they get into one firefight, and they shut down, and they stop talking, and then they ain't the same person anymore. And then you get the exact opposite, though, too. The ones that didn't glorify the firefights, the ones that really didn't talk about it, but when shit hit the fan, they was pulling the trigger, staying on top of it. And some of those people, still live their lives kind of like how I live my life.
That's pretty interesting, actually. The reverse of that, I never thought about that. The people who were just like calm and whoop whoop, and then,
Yeah.
but they were the ones who was really putting in the work. You said there was the one that stuck in your mind the most. What was it about that stuck in your mind?
Only reason that one stuck in my mind, and it was in the Army, And matter of fact, I got a couple friends I think in Whammy too that was there with me. Anyways, the reason that one stuck out in my head the most is because, for one, I volunteered. It wasn't even my squad. It wasn't even, my squad leader. I just decided to go out with third platoon, or third squad. Yeah, I decided to go out with third squad that day. Just volunteer, just wanted to be on the mission. And while we were out there in Baghdad patrolling with the Iraqi police, everyone that I looked at through my window just seemed like they were pissed off. Like, we don't need to be in that part of Baghdad. I specifically remember that because I'm like, why does it feel so hostile here? So then when we had the Iraqis with us, the Iraqi police, they decided they wanted to pull somebody over. They pulled over this little white four-door car with 4 people in it. And one of the Iraqi police got out and skipped up there and did his whole shaku maku type greeting. And as soon as he said that, a pistol came out, wow, shot him in the head. Right, and he just dropped. So as soon as that happened, and his vehicle was directly in front of mine, I witnessed the whole thing. So me being who I am, I hop out of the vehicle, and then I just engage the vehicle as they're hopping out, and as I'm hopping out, I'm just balls to the wall shooting rounds at them. I just don't care no more. We had a couple contractors with us. I don't know what their name is, but they got out and engaged too. I think 2 of them went down right then and there, and then 2 of them was able to get away and run into this garage that was right off of the street where we pulled them over at. I shot into that garage. I didn't care. And like I said, I think the reason that stuck with me is because I felt it coming, and I don't think I've ever felt any come before like that. So I think that's why it stuck with me. And one of them got away, and the other one, he got hit a bunch of times, and we detained him, and then took him back to the base.
Oh, he survived.
Yeah, and it made me watch him. I almost punched him right in the mouth.
That's crazy. So the Iraqi police dude went up to the car, and they killed him.
Killed him on the spot. And that another reason that sticks with me is the way he fell. Think if someone took all your life energy out of your body and you just collapse. No muscle tone.
Right. You're not putting any control to where you're falling, how you're falling. It's just...
He dropped. Just like that. He landed on his knees. So that was crazy to see. Just a straight murder. That was probably 15 yards in front of me.
So as far as the funny saying, what do you feel when you're shooting at bad guys and they say recoil? Everyone, I take it, would have different feelings. Like my dad feels one way, grandpa feels one way. As far as having to take a life, how does that affect you in a negative way? Does it not bother you? How do you deal with that in life? Is it even something you even deal with? Is it nothing? Is it just it was war? Like what is that?
Well, I think I'm the wrong person to ask about that, only because I feel like I'm disattached from, like, I don't register what I should be feeling or how I actually feel, only because I feel like I block a lot of stuff out. Like a lot of what I remember about my deployments now today feel like dreams. So sometimes I question, are they even real at that point? Because I think I've blocked them out so much. And then two, to even grasp the concept of like taking a life or shooting someone or killing someone, I think what works best is you don't acknowledge the fact that you really did it. You don't claim it. Some of those cats do claim it. 13 confirmed kills. I hope I don't see you in a psychiatric ward. But, some people can go on their whole fucking life, talking about it, living it. And even my damn doctor today wants me to talk about stuff. But I don't think that necessarily works with me. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm in denial. I don't like to claim anything, because I think that's what keeps me who I am today.
Well, I think that's your way of dealing with it. Everyone gonna deal with it a certain way, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, bro. To be honest, yeah, that's pretty deep. Now, we're out here, you guys, way out in the boondocks, and the difference between this is why you always want to learn as much as you can and train and train from and learn from different people.
Yeah.
Now, I am by no means a know-it-all at all, like at all. Okay, right? You know what I mean? And so, what I train for, what I think, what I prepare for, everything is simple as my experiences in life. And then I'll listen to other people that have, true experience and whatnot, and try to incorporate that too. For the most part, I use my experience and just kind of add on to that. That is not enough at all. And the reason I'm saying that is because me and him are out here and we're way out in the boondocks, and we just kind of talked about what ifs, right? Yeah. And he said if some guys came in here, just some crazy stuff. Some guys came in here with trucks and jumped out with guns and wanted to, they're just crazy and wanted to shoot us down, whatever. He said, so if some crazy shit happens, then we need to walk away from each other, separate and engage. I don't know anything about that. Okay, I don't know nothing about that. I wouldn't even thought that. In fact, I probably would have followed him if he wouldn't have said nothing, because I don't have those tactics. My tactics are, I'm at 7-Eleven and a dude ran up with a gun. Those are my tactics, because that's what I've experienced, or some two dudes behind me in the car with guns trying to do a drive-by, and that's what I know, and that's all I know. Yeah. But it's very important, I would say, if you're someone who carries a gun and want to protect your family, to get information from many places you can, because what he just said is tactics that I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too, and I remember talking about stuff like this when I was in the military. But if we are together, for whatever type scenario that is, he misses me by a little, he hits you a lot. And then secondly, by separating, we create now two targets. So now you got to pick someone to shoot at.
Right.
And while that person's getting shot at, hopefully the other person's engaging and
to shut that person down. It makes all the fucking sense in the world. I'm glad you told me that, because now it's something else that's in my mind, because just like pretty much everything in life, it's more mental than anything.
Yeah, mental would kill you though too. And that's the other thing. If you can't work through it mentally, and you shut down or you panic, you're more than likely going to get hit and you're going to die. Those are the ones that don't act accordingly or act appropriately. We've been shot at, I've been shot at, I don't know how many times. And it's so weird, because with each time that I've been shot at, for me, personally speaking, things slow down. Right? I can see where it's coming from. I can understand where it's coming from. And then I can go sit behind something and know, okay, for the moment right now, I'm safe. So
Right.
what do I need to do? And what is everybody else doing around me?
Right.
And then for other people, it's like it's fast.
Right.
And I think the slowing down thing works for me. Now the backside to that, the fear factor to that I've always had is because everything slows down for me. I feel like I'm moving slow.
Right. Right.
Right? So then even when I'm moving from one spot to another spot, I'm like, I can't move fucking fast enough. And as I'm moving, I'm like, ah! So it's about to hit, ah! And that going back to that last firefight that I had January 8th, when I stepped out of the truck, I stepped out in front of the truck. And then, bah, 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 he was shooting at me. And I'm like, ah! And I walked back and grabbed the front of the truck and engaged, But
Yeah.
from that 5 feet of distance, I felt like it took maybe 2.5 minutes,
Right.
It was so slow.
And that's funny because now I'm wondering if that's genetic because we're first cousins. My mom and his dad are full-blooded brother sister, almost twins, and look just alike. I do the same thing. I've said that to you guys in other videos. Everything slows down.